Perhaps the most surprising tight end signing this year for day one, Josh Oliver, who is the third string tight end for the Baltimore Ravens, gets a 3-year, $21 million to go to Minnesota. Why? Why would the Minnesota Vikings, who just traded a couple second round picks to move down to third round picks to acquire TJ Hawkinson, now go out and get Josh Oliver? It has to do with scheme. The Minnesota Vikings were looking for an inline blocker, and Josh Oliver is really good at blocking. In fact, he was the number 2 PFF graded run blocking tight end last year for those with, I think, 190 pass blocking attempts, pass blocks, whatever. Josh Oliver also can grow into being a dual threat tight end. He was drafted in the 3rd round by the Jaguars a few years ago. And so Josh Oliver, one of 19 tight ends last year to have an expected top 5 tight end rate greater than 0. There were 2 other Baltimore Ravens on that list, Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. And if the Minnesota Vikings, who released Adam Thielen already, are now looking to move TJ Hawkinson into the slot, then you can consider Josh Oliver to be maybe a spike week touchdown dependent last round desperation tight end consideration here, but also maybe an interesting tight end cuff to TJ Hawkinson. We've seen some spike weeks from Josh Oliver in the past. He has some interesting draft capital. He is an athletic tight end. So that really fits with what you want in taking just blind shots on tight ends. He's got an athletic profile. He's done it before. He's paid $7 million a year. And this also means that Irv Smith's time in Minnesota is probably over. I wouldn't be surprised if the Minnesota Vikings look to trade Irv Smith or cut him, probably trade him to a team that needs a tight end, the Panthers, the Cincinnati Bengals. So we'll see what happens with Irv Smith, but this probably means that Irv Smith is not going to stay very long on the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, so I like Josh Oliver as an NFL pick, not going to be very fantasy relevant in the short term.